Hey, it's Chris. Is the OnePlus 3T better than the iPhone 7 Plus in any meaningful way? And can an Android phone priced as a mid-range with the guts of a flagship compete with Apple's flagship phone? Now, as we get into this video, keep in mind that the iPhone 7 Plus, that's my main phone. It's the phone that I use on a daily basis, although I did switch to the 3T for a good while so that I could get it tested out. Now, in this video, we're gonna compare some things like speed, cameras, the screens, and more, and I'm gonna try to keep things to the point. But let's start off with something that really surprised me, the screens. Now, both phones have a 5.5-inch 1080p screen, and I'm gonna spare you the techno babble and let you know right off the bat that the OnePlus 3T has a superior screen. It's just better. When both screens are at peak brightness, it's really easy to see that the 3T screen is just brighter, shows more detail, and has wider whites. Whoa, I did not expect that. But the iPhone is the clear and expected winner when it comes to processing power. The benchmark tests that I ran, which the iPhone finished more than 25% faster, by the way, clearly show that the iPhone is the bigger beast of the two. Now, in the speaker department, in terms of how things sound and how loud things get, it's pretty close, but I think the slight edge belongs to the iPhone. It doesn't hurt that the iPhone has stereo sound, although it's kind of weirdly implemented, and the OnePlus 3T doesn't. So just so you can hear it for yourself, here's a quick speaker comparison. Now, the cameras aren't exactly evenly matched. The 7 Plus has a dual lens main camera system, whereas the OnePlus doesn't. But instead of talking about it, why don't I just show you? Here's a couple of photo and video camera tests. So this is a demonstration of the forward-facing camera on the OnePlus 3T. And you're also hearing my voice being recorded by the OnePlus 3T's built-in microphone. And this is the same test performed on the iPhone 7 Plus's forward-facing camera using the built-in mic. Here's what 4K video looks and sounds like being recorded from the rear camera on the OnePlus 3T. And this is a demonstration of 4K video being shot on the rear camera of the iPhone 7. And now we get to the design, which is, of course, very subjective. But here's my take. Both phones, I think, look very nice, although I happen to prefer the way the iPhone looks over the OnePlus, especially with that piano black finish. But something that I love that amazes me is that the OnePlus 3T has the same screen size as the iPhone 7 Plus, and yet somehow has an overall smaller footprint. And that slightly smaller form factor does make the 3T a little bit easier to hold. So the 3T's design and engineering did manage to impress me in several different regards. So here's a few other things worth mentioning. The 3T's fast charging is outstanding, and it puts the iPhone to shame. Like the tagline says, a day's power in half an hour? That's no joke. I did find the iPhone's fingerprint sensor to be more reliable and accurate, at least for me, although both are plenty fast. I think it's really cool that the 3T can handle split screen apps, but I never find a chance to actually use that feature. And while I'm using the 3T, I really do miss the option to double tap the home button like I can on the iPhone to bring the screen down a little bit to easily access those top buttons. Something interesting about the 3T though is that it comes with a screen protector already installed when you take it out of the box. Although I managed to get it pretty scratched up in no time, so it may not be the world's best screen protector. And here's my final comment, and I saved it till the end because it matters the least. But by and large, I tend to prefer the iOS version of apps to their Android equivalents. It's just certain things like menu and button placements and certain standardizations that seem to make the iOS apps a little bit easier to use and maybe a little bit cleaner looking. Now, that isn't always the case, and I do not hate the Android operating system, but that's just my 2 cents. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and follow @DailyTech, spelled Daily T-E-K-K, on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, and I'll catch up with you guys in the next video. Later.